All right, we are live again. This is, I'd like to say this is round two, but we've actually stopped and started here while we've been offline about 3 times. So certainly, I'm going to tilt the camera just a little bit here. Appreciate everybody's patience. For those that have been able to stay on with us, I promise this is worthwhile. And if you're going to have to come back and listen to this a little bit later, so be it. But thank you so much for your patience. Just a little bit of a technical breakdown. We're actually now on another computer, so I think we got it now. But Lisa, thank you for being so kind to hang out with us. Your words are too valuable for them to have only heard every other or every third or every fourth word. So, but we're live now, I promise, and we're going to stay live. And Lisa Petersen, welcome. We certainly appreciate that you are with us today. For those that missed our earlier introduction, Lisa is actually the third in our series of having a chance to talk with people who are really developing the Touchstone business, growing organizations, sort of doing those things that folks talk about that they want to do when they get involved and when they kind of set their sights on accomplishing and developing a business with us. And so we want to talk to Lisa, learn a little bit more about her, learn about her business practices, and let you have a chance to kind of glean from that some things that may contribute to your own success. So Lisa, thank you for doing this. And first things first, I know you and really appreciate the role that your background has played in your success here so far. And I know that it's really only the beginning. And I'm looking forward to spending more time with you and the rest of the team in Mexico in a couple of weeks. But would you mind taking a few moments and sharing with folks, kind of how you got here, your background?
Sure, of course, I'd love to. Thanks for having me. This is just an exciting time, and even with the technical difficulties, as I said to Eddie, it just shows you can't be perfect at everything. So it's all good. I am a mother of 3, and I have 2 beautiful grandsons, and I often joke and say, hey, listen, if I can do a business like this, anybody can. I live in Los Angeles, but that's not where it started for me. I grew up in Wisconsin, and if anybody from the Midwest will appreciate this, you kind of just live in a box in Wisconsin, and this is what you know, and this is where you stay. It's the safe zone. And I was going through life. I was married, working in veterinary medicine, and just kind of coasting along doing what we do. And then I got a knock on the door one day, and everything changed. I did not realize that my safe zone was about to implode on me. They came to repossess my van and start foreclosing procedures on our beautiful home. And it took me a while. There was a time of a lot of embarrassment to even admit this, but I really had no idea that all the accounts were empty and bankruptcy was just staring me in the face. And I knew then that the only person that could figure this out was myself. And that whole mother bear takes over, and you want to be able to take care of your kids. So the direct selling industry fell in my lap, and I was of the mindset that those home-based businesses never work, and I can't do that. I'm too shy to speak in front of people. And I was desperate to feed my kids and figure this out, and I dove into it and packed up the kids. And I don't know what I was thinking to move from Wisconsin to the most expensive state in the country, but there were reasons. And off I went, and I knew nobody. So I was scared. And I dug in, I went to work, I started sharing, I was excited about what I was doing. And it just became many, many blessings. The business took off for me. And I found myself, I've been in California now 15 years. And the company I was originally with, they moved on, their doors closed, and I realized that I became passionate about the industry.
Sure.
Because I felt like if a woman from Wisconsin who just feels like this is a little tiny part of her world can dig in and build this and no longer feel vulnerable to anybody, I could take care of myself. I felt very empowered that this is the industry I wanted to stay in. So when Touchstone came along, I was incredibly blessed to find out that I had the opportunity now to not just change people's lives on a small scale, but on a big scale. So I'm really excited to be part of it, and I think inside that's my real motivation, never wanting to feel vulnerable again, and knowing we have an opportunity to really make some major changes.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. And for those listening, she's covered there really efficiently, really a heck of a story and a transition. And I just want to make sure that's not glossed over by everybody, for you to sort of have that surprise moment that's life-changing when you're not looking for a life change, right? And to respond like that speaks to your own internal resilience and drive. And I really admire that. I just want to make sure that people just recognize what you did there, is to go from, as you said, your comfort zone in Wisconsin all the way to California, just not just geography, but kind of everything about it, right? And to go out there and develop something where you were in control, right? That's just remarkable. So clearly the industry has done some great things for you. I want to ask you in a moment about sort of your process, because I think that really matters to people as they're listening to things like this. But what would you say are some of the qualities that you, through the experience, came to appreciate that really matter when you're doing this? Not necessarily maybe process as much as attitude or mindset or those kinds of, let's call them intangibles, although they actually day to day are kind of tangible, that you think have made a difference and you've seen that develop in you or grow in you.
That's a great question, because the other day I was facing something that I was feeling fearful about. We're thinking of relocating out of California, and I felt this fear come over me, and I thought, wait a minute, that's exactly what you had to overcome. I mean, here you are, this single mom, and you're leaving your entire family and friends and moving to California because you're doing it for your children, and I was scared to death, but I didn't let that stop me. And I would say that a big quality is recognizing that and not letting it get in your way, because there's truly nothing to be afraid of. If you don't try something, you don't know. And if you try something that doesn't work, then it wasn't meant to be. So I have to continually self-check that in myself and remind myself, hey, listen, this isn't that bad. We can do this.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying it, and that in that manner. I do think for a lot of folks, they allow fear, maybe they're a little bit phobias, really paralyze them. And so it's not like they make an active decision. They wind up making no decision because they're just sort of paralyzed. And one of my own exercises is I kind of walk through, well, what would failure look like? Would it be a little bit of time waste or maybe a little bit of embarrassment? And if I weigh that against what might be on the other side, so good for you. I don't always see that that's happening with people. As you've sort of recognized that aspect, and I do appreciate you guys are potentially moving to the East Coast, right? So you're a mover. My hat's off to you. You're a mover. But clearly you're in a portable environment, right? And your team is already just across the country and the globe. What are the processes or practices that you do that are not dependent upon geography? And what's maybe the tools? What's the best way you would describe that to us?
It should be just cut and dry, and it can be, but I am very aware of, I listen a lot to my team, my new VBOs, prospective VBOs, to what their goals are and what their needs are. And then I really kind of hone in on that, but I want to make it really duplicatable, because I am a mover and a shaker, and the thing I love about this business is the relationships. But the thing I really love about Touchstone and what attracted me to it is you can have the one-on-one and the belly-to-belly and the personal, but you can also build a business online. So I had to really start to wrap myself more around that and remember that I had to look duplicatable, because not everybody's looking to fly to Atlanta or fly here or fly there and do presentations. So what I really, really make sure I hit home with my new people is it is as simple as sending a link. So when someone asks me about a product or about the company, I know that I can go right to my landing page and grab a link on maybe the best qualities in CBD, or why does it work, or if someone's specifically asking me about the business, I can grab our VBO page and send a link. I can grab a blog page and send a link. And the more I do that, the more they understand it is that easy. And that's what I really want to make sure that I'm delivering in that message is it's as simple as sending out this link. Anybody can do this.
We might need to start a hashtag, just send a link or something like that. So let me walk you through a scenario and get you to tell me what you would do. So, you know, you and I meet or we talk or whatever, and you ultimately determine through our conversation, I have an interest in this, or you think I do, whatever that turns out to be. What are the steps you would walk me through? What would you do to make that introduction to begin to sort of quantify or understand what my interest might be?
And that's a great question, and I'm gonna actually talk about a situation the other day. I was having a conversation with a gentleman, and I come from the background of dealing with women in a business with women, so it's been a different, but a fun but different dynamic interacting with men as well. And I had to kind of build my confidence and step up my game on with that. And when I was talking to him, in the beginning, I prejudged, and I didn't necessarily think this business would be for him. And his wife's using the products. Well, she kind of hinted. So he and I started chatting, and he sat with me. He's a commercial banker, and he's not feeling great. He's moving it, he's busy. But guess what? In our conversation, he's looking at retiring in the next couple months, and he's faced with some health issues, and he wants to enjoy retirement and live a long time.
Sure.
So I just started asking him some questions. And are you looking to do something with retirement? Would you like to stay busy? I sure would. And I said, would you ever be interested? I'd love to share with you what we have at Touchstone. And he said, absolutely, I'd love to know more. So I sent him over the VBO page, that the new, from my landing page, asked him to watch the videos, and then I scheduled a time with him the next day when he told me he'd have time to watch it so we could follow up and talk about that. We did. And then after that conversation, he went ahead and placed his order and joined and is now waiting for his products. So as soon as they come in, we'll chat about products and how to use them, and then I'll take him through the next step.
Oh, that's great. Now, for those that maybe don't have the system memorized, or you're new, so she went to the Touchstone page that you get, and you get a personal link to. When you get involved, she went to the collaboration tab, and then she went to VBO, and so that's the link. That direct link is what you sent the person.
I did. That's the link I sent him. And I knew, being a businessman that he was and having the vision, he'd look at that. I knew he'd be intrigued and want to talk more, and he was. Yeah,
that's great. That's what we want the system to do, right?
That's right.
Is to do those things for us. So for somebody that's watching this, and so we're doing good on time. For somebody that's watching this and they've got maybe some trepidation about how to start a conversation, because I got three things I want to ask you here. One is, do you have anything that you utilize, or phrases or terms that you utilize to kind of get the conversation started? Maybe the icebreaker.
I do, and again, here we go. I can't say to you it's always this way, because it
Sure.
just depends on how the conversation goes. But I think I got into this when I moved out to California and I didn't know anybody. I had to come up with conversation starters without sounding like I'm trying to just, oh, hi, new friend, I'm trying to pitch you on something, right? So
Right.
I feel like I worked on honing that, and my favorite is when I'm on the airplane, because I love, part of the reason I love to travel is I meet new people and it starts more conversations.
Sure.
But they ask me what I do, as I ask them what they do, and I want to be really careful to not sound like, well, here we go. But I often will just say that I love spreading. I travel, and I go out and I'm branding a new company. We are all about plant-based nutrition and CBD and how it can change your life. And they start asking questions and it doesn't stop. So I try to make sure I tap into what we're offering, but in a bigger picture that I'm a branding. Sometimes I'll add in that I'm setting up new affiliates and distributors and looking for new affiliates and distributors, depending on who I'm speaking to. And try to make it, I think how I deliver it is making it like it's a lot of fun. In fact, the new gal I just met, she's been in touch with me every day. I met her on the last flight. She's so excited about my excitement that we're going to be chatting about the business. So it's keeping it simple, but making it exciting and not saying too much, just enough for them to start asking me questions.
So I think that's brilliant, right? Because whether the words may change from one moment to the next, you're essentially in a genuine conversation with someone, you're listening to them, you're asking some questions, and you're looking for an opportunity to create some curiosity. Right? And then that gives you your chance to use your tools. I think that's absolutely brilliant and makes obviously a big impact. So what do you do then if they start drilling you on, let's say, for example, somebody says, now you mentioned CBD, Lisa. I know that's a popular subject, and they start to ask you the details. How do you deal with that? Because you have a background in veterinarian medicine, but I don't think you have a biochemistry degree. So how do you handle that kind of detailed product question?
Well, I love that you're asking me that, because in the beginning I felt like, oh my gosh, my personality is to learn, and I want to know as much as I can about this. And I have to be careful of that, because if I do that, then I'm scaring others away and they think they have to know it all. So even though I may know the answer or feel pretty confident I can answer their question, I will answer just enough to get them intrigued, to kind of grow their confidence in me. But then I'll send them a link and I'll just say to them, our website is a wealth of information. I love that, because I want you to go in there and do your own research. So I'm not a big person on handing out business cards. I ask them if they're comfortable giving me their cell phone number. So far, every single person has been, and right there, whether I'm on an airplane, whether I'm in a conversation, wherever I am, I'll text them. I'll text that link. I'll go in and I'll find the appropriate link of what we were discussing on the blog, and I text it over to them with a little message, nice meeting you.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. I don't know if I've heard it said quite that way. Our website is a wealth of information, which I agree with you. Obviously it is, but that is a great way to handle that. So let's say they look at it, right? But there's, so what then? What's your way of trying to bring the conversation to some conclusion of some kind?
Well, depending on, again, what we're talking about, often they'll continue to press me. And they'll continue, if they're intrigued about product or business, they want to know more. And so conversation just will naturally go. If it's going towards the business, I'll chat about our, the customer affiliate and the BBL. And if they're looking at more money, I know by that conversation, and I'll follow up with another link so they can do some more research. And then in my text message, let's set up a time to chat. What time will work for you? Because I can tell by how our conversation is going if this is a no thanks. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
The worst thing you want to do is continue throwing up on somebody if it's a no.
Yeah, you'd rather know sooner than later, right?
Right.
So one last thing I'll ask you as a question. So where does the gift card come into the dynamic for you? How is that used? Because we've got a section in our back office. We can see who's utilizing gift cards, and you're utilizing the gift cards, right? So how are they a part of your business dynamic?
That's great. In the beginning, I was a little nervous about how to share them, because you kind of hold them close. And now I make sure, again, on how our conversation is going, I can tell if someone's pretty serious on whether they are interested in placing an order. So let's just chat about a customer for a minute. I want to make sure, and I tell them, please do not place an order until you and I have spoken. I have a $50 gift card that you can use to get $50 off your first order. And I want to, when you're ready to place that order, I want to make sure you have it. So promise me. And they feel like, are you kidding me? I can get $50 off.
Yeah.
But the cool part about doing it that way is I now can reach back out to them and say, I want to make sure you get the $50 code. Do you have any questions? And it creates a bit of a sense of urgency, but also some real authenticity that I have this and I really want to share it with them. And this isn't a gimme or I got you. And then when it comes to start talking about the business, well, by that time, we're in a whole different conversation with someone.
Sure.
And I can use that gift card code for the new gentleman I'm bringing on this week from Atlanta. I said, please do not go in and place your order till you get your code from me. He'll get his Advantage pack. And then he gets 5 gift card codes right out of the gate to go share with people. And he was so fired up about that. So listen, that's a win-win, that gift card code. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's great. I like the fact that you're using it to maintain possession of the conversation. And so there's a lot of reasons that I think that's beneficial. So thank you so much. So Lisa, obviously, thanks for being willing to openly talk about your strategy and what you do. Any final thoughts or parting wisdom you'll leave us with? Well,
sure, we'll keep it short and sweet, but for anyone that's either new to Touchstone or you're checking it out, or you're just a bit intrigued, I've been in the industry about 25 years. I started when I was 15, and it's the real deal, and you really have to find a company like Touchstone. And I think people are thinking, right, Lisa, of course, what are you going to say? But truly, this is the real deal. I say it's the best kept secret out there. And as challenged as I feel sometimes that no one knows about us, I love that no one knows about us, because that's what we get to do. We get to go share. And so just know to everyone out there, you've got this beautiful gift to share. Go share it. If people aren't interested, that's on them. And don't let fear get in the way. Trust me when I say that. I've been there, I've walked it, and sometimes I just feel like if we don't try, we never know. So I'm really obviously excited to be part of it, grateful to be part of it, and just really, really happy that you had me on.
Yeah, Lisa, thank you so much. And thank you for your patience as we kind of work through some tech issues. And for those that are with us, thank you for your patience as well. It was well worth it to hear Lisa's words of wisdom. And of course, if you are going to be joining us in Mexico, and we've got several dozen people that we'll probably be able to find her with an umbrella drink in her hand by the pool at some point. We can dial in on some more details in a few or two, whatever it happens to be. So with that, we'll leave you for now. Go out there and make the rest of this day all it can be. You deserve that. Enjoy I guess we just got a couple more days here in this month. So we've got January is just about done. The rest of this year's in front of us. And so we look forward to more of these. Lisa, thank you. And bye everybody for now.